Hi everyone, happy to be back today to present you a new video, and this time we're going to speak about black and white, and especially here black and white conversion. So this is coming out from a digital image and trying to get the best out of Darktable to do an impressive black and white conversion. So for those of you that have seen some of my previous video, I actually based this video on a comment from someone asking on the Marie portrait how we can convert easily in black and white. There is different module right now within Darktable. You will find monochrome module. You can also desaturate somehow your image. The path that I am choosing right now is the path of color calibration. So why did I choose this color calibration path? Because for me, it's getting closer to what you can get as if you would shoot analog and using filters. So this is something that for me is really interesting. I wanted to do this parallel between shooting analog with filters and converting your digital image into black and white image. So you may recognize this picture that I actually used on one of my previous videos to demonstrate masking capacity with AI on Darktable 5.6. I'm reusing this image, but we can use also different type of images. Just wanted to have one with some kind of sky, and we'll also go through a different image later on. The actual physics behind those filters, I will explain it to you right now. I will go out of Darktable for a couple of minutes and then come back with the image. So I wanted to spend just 3 minutes outside of Darktable to show you those 3 slides, just to explain the filter and the theory behind the filters. So for those of you that have already worked with analogic cameras and black and white films, you may already have used some filters. Here we'll apply exactly the same principle, but emulated into Darktable, of course. So what a filter is doing is basically is using the white light or the light that you can see outside, and is letting pass the lights through from the same color than the color of the filter. So this is very, very simple. So here, for example, the red filter, all the red lights will go through. And what does it mean in terms of black and white? The reds will be very light, will be light gray, will be the lighter part of your image. On the opposite side, the G and B, so green and blue of your images, will be blocked or at least diminished, and it will generate darker area. So this is something that is working for all the different filters and all the different colors of the filters. The color of the filter is the one that will get the most light in the image, so it will be the lighter area of the image, whereas the other one will be darker because it's blocking the images, or the light of those colors. If I just jump into the other explanation, other slide here, I made in Darktable five different actually 6 different presets with a neutral one, but I made 5 color the filters. So the yellow one, basically it's letting the warmer tones go through, and it darkens the sky. Usually it's kind of a mid filter that you can call an everyday filter that will have the more natural look. Then you have the orange one that is usually more for some kind of portrait, also landscape and architecture, but I like to use it with skin to warm up the tones, and then it will darken the sky, and also it will fade out a little bit the haze. The red one usually is of course used to lighten the reds, the skins also. The bricks will be the lightest part of the, if you use a red filter, whereas again the sky will be kind of dark, the foliage will also be dark. So you may use it for a more dramatical point of view. Then the green is very useful if you want to have your foliage, the grass, very light, and versus some skin that may be a little bit darker and that bring up also some kind of texture. Last but not least, even if it's kind of, I think, rare to use it, at least from my side, you can use the blue filter to lighten up the skies, the haze, and darken the reds, the skin. For me, I do not use it so much because usually you still want to keep some kind of contrast in your skies, for example. But once again, you need to play with it. The beauty of Darktable versus the physical filter and analogic film, you will see directly the results, so you can always try and see what will be the outcome of it. And just as you have recognized, it's basically lightening up one color and darkening the opposite color. I just wanted to bring up to you also this color wheel just to see quickly, and I will put it also as a reference in the package of preset. What are the opposites one? It's always interesting to keep in mind this wheel just to see, for example, if you position your red here, that the cyan and all basically from the blue to the green will be the darkest part of the image. So every tone between blue and green here. If you take the blue, it will be the same. Everything that is, I would say, in between the red and the green, coming from the yellow in the middle, will be darker, and so on for the green and so on. So I wanted also to bring it to you guys so that you can refer to it later. Please feel free to download it together with the preset and to use it for the next time you edit a video. So now we are going back to Darktable. Now that we have seen how the filters are actually working, there is a way right now into Darktable to mimic or to, I would say, emulate those filters, and this is in color calibration. So of course you are using right now with color image color calibration as the new module for white and black, white balance, sorry. This module here, usually you go on the cat size here and you will adjust your white balance. Right now you can go directly, there is on the right side of the module a table or a tab called gray. This tab gray is enabling you to convert any image into a black and white image. This is very important because, as you have understood from the previous filter, here on this one you will see and you will let the software know how much light of each, I would say, RGB channel you want to go through, and basically you will define what is your gray, light gray area and what are your darker area. So this is something that you can tweak. And you can say, okay, I want more red, I want more green, I want more blue here. So this is really up to you. And what I did to facilitate a little bit your life, and that I will share also in the description later on, that you can download directly as a DT preset, is that I already created some preset with the emulation of the different filters. So you see, the one that I demonstrated to you before, I have all of them here. I also use those the possibility to give you a hint about what those filters will do. So for example, the orange is for me the portrait filter that will hide some redness on the skin if there is any, and I will demonstrate it later on. Here I applied the character filter that I called, which should bring, I would say, texture out and darken a little bit the sky. And you can, of course, try and use the different one. For example, the yellow is a very subtle one, so you see here it will change slightly the image. Sometimes it's important, sometimes it's a little bit, I would say, less impacting. If I put neutral, for example, you see it's moving a little bit the different things. If I go, for example, if I use this orange one, it will also adapt again, and you will see some subtle difference in the image. For this image, I think the here green for me is the one that is bringing out the more texture, the more I would say darkening a little bit the sky and bringing out the building itself. We'll see later on in a portrait that it may be a little bit different with a different type of image. With that said, I think it's very important that you can, of course, tweak the output by just changing the different sliders here and see what will be the impact. So I will strongly recommend you to play with it. You can always come back to the preset. So this is also something that is really good because you can you can tweak different images and see how it goes. Normalized channel here just enable you to have the sum that is close to 1, or that should be actually 1. So even if the numbers here are not matching, it will secure that it will bring all the numbers to the right number to get a sum that is equal to 1, and that it will not affect the brightness of the picture itself. So it will not change anything on your picture, just letting know the software how much light you want from each and every color. So this is, for me, this filter part is really something that is super useful. I already demonstrated you on different modules the defined preset from the software. You can see also that you have some predefined preset also here. For those of you on the previous version, I think it was called black and white, now it's called monochrome. You can try the famous Ilford HP5 Plus, for example, and you will see that it will tweak a little bit your image and the rendering of your black and white image. So again, it's for me up to you to try and tweak those settings to get the best out of, I would say, what you want. If I go back to Marie portrait here that you have seen previously, and that was actually the commenter request that generated me this idea of a video. For me, I think it's really a good, I would say, approach to see how we can go from color image here to something that then you can apply different filter on. So for me, I say, for example, I would apply basically orange as a default filter, and you see that it's I would say smoothing a little bit the skin. Here it's the untouched portrait. If you have followed my previous video about retouching skin, you will see that I've tried to hide some redness and so on, but here just with that you see that if I tweak it off, for example, we have a redness here, we have some redness on her left cheek here, a little bit here. If I just apply the filter, you see that it's fading and it's, I would say, normalizing a little bit the skin without losing all the texture and without losing the depth of the skin that we have. So this is for me the very first step of the black and white conversion as such. Again, it's not something magic. You need to also to maybe find your own I would say parameters depending on the image, but I think if you rely on those presets that I will share with you guys, it will be very easy at first to evaluate what you want. And again, keep in mind that it's really like the physical filters, and that if, for example, this red filter is applied, it will bring up light on the red, so the red will become the, I would say, lighter area, whereas the opposite colors will get the darker side of the image. With that said, there is one last thing that I want to also bring up for this type of black and white, because there is always some question about the contrast, especially on black and white, where the contrast is only coming from the difference between the lighter areas and the darker areas. For me, I always put some local contrast here to bring up some details, to bring up a little bit of character on the image. And you see the big difference that this small local contrast are making on the image. Of course, on end touch skin here, not retouched, it will also bring up some defect. So you need to use it with caution, and you need to use it knowing what you do. But for me, it's also part of the black and white conversion to bring up those contrasts. Some of you may use the grain module also. I will not go through it today. I think for me, black and white doesn't necessarily mean grain on the image. I know from now on, from the different images that we see, that there is a lot of I would say trend about this vintage look, film look, and we also see it with the Ilford preset, for example, here. But again, it's up to you if you want to apply in grain or not. For me, it doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't add anything to the image as such, except if you are looking for this vintage look where you can add grain, when you can add vignetting and this type of thing. But for me, it doesn't mean anything for black and white conversion or not. For the local contrast, I wanted to show it to you also on this building, which is for me very impressive, because if you take it out, you really are losing some character of the image. But if you bring up this local contrast, you will really bring the life into this image. So once again, all those presets, guys, will be available to be downloaded. So I will put the link below. It's free. It will be on the Ko-fi website, on my Ko-fi website. If you want to leave something for it, I would be super happy. Otherwise, you can just download them for free. With that said, this is very important to keep in mind that those presets are not linked to any cameras, so you can use them on any of your images. And for example, here I'm working on one of my image from a Fuji. And before it was one of the image from Olympus, if I'm correct, that from the Marie portrait. So this is two different images. And also one good thing to keep in mind on the color balance, as soon as we are working on the black and white version, do not freak out with the cat table. So back to the cat table here, just to show you. This is of course not affecting your image as you are working now on the black and white part. So here on this one, you keep it as it was before, and you jump directly on the gray part. Alright, so if it's clear for everyone, guys, it's all for me today. Please share any concern or anything that you want in the comment. I will be happy to answer. And let me know if you want to see something else on this video. Once again, link for downloading those presets is on the first comment. Please feel free to download it, use it, and give me some feedback.